I think I'm nuts. Look what I picked up today. I don't know. It was free. I feel like I needed to.
Hello, amazing humans. My name is Alumine, and welcome back to Just Keep Sending. If you love furniture transformation, problem solving, and a little chaos, you are in the right place. Yes, that is my project. And in this video, I will share with you my never-ending journey to try to restore this Eastlake mini dresser that had an immense amount of paint. My anxiety got the best of me, and I tried to peep under the paint right away. So I am not sure how well the footage of this before is going to be, so the video might not match exactly what I say, so bear with me. I picked up this, let's call, wash stand from my local Buy Nothing group because I thought it was so cool, and it was solid wood. And in my defense, the pictures were better, okay? I saw the infinite potential and I had to snatch it. So let's see what I can do with it. So, manos a la obra. We are jumping straight into prep because there's a lot of work to be done, and I'll give you more background along the way. Curiosity killed the cat, and I needed to see what was under that green paint before doing anything else. No cleaning and not even assessing how bad this thing was. So I started with chemical stripper. But clearly the first layer of paint barely came loose and I gave up pretty fast. So I moved quickly to something more satisfying, removing the base that was broken. That was done pretty fast and I got bored again. So let's see how else I can remove paint. Oh yes, I also tried a heat gun that, regardless that it worked better, as the pile of paint can prove that was when I noticed the insane amount of layers of paint this thing had. Well, maybe now that I see it, not so many. It had the top pickle green, teal, cream, and probably a primer there or another white paint. I also want to take a moment to recognize Carmen from Planted and Painted that named this little piece Pickle due to the color. And considering I am in Texas, I think it's even more funny because here people has a crazy obsession about pickles. Alright, let's get back to this. Let me pause to give you a quick tip on how I remove paint using a heat gun. I hold it close to the surface, maybe 2 inches, not more. Wait for it to bubble a little. Put the gun away and scrape. Always being careful with the hand not being on the way of the heat. Don't ask me how I know. And I also wear a respirator. We do not know the type of chemicals we're overheating. The last tip is always keep an eye on where you're dropping that smoking hot paint that you just removed. It can cause a fire, so I usually just let it cool down on the floor and then sweep. For the sides, it was a longer process because the heat gun alone was not cutting it, so also use the carbide scraper and the detail scraper on the curves. I took the hardware out that was also covered in 1,000 layers of paint. And do you see intestines here? Because I do. And I know that once you see it, you can't unsee it. I was doing everything all over the place because I was getting frustrated easily. So I removed some paint with a carbide scraper on the top drawers too, but left the details and the flowers for later. In my attempt to remove the door, I noticed the screws were stripped. So were giving me so much trouble. I didn't want to destroy the hinge, so I needed to be careful. I grabbed the multi-tool, but I didn't use it, and I ended up getting it out with a smaller flat screwdriver.
I want you to know that I will not be finishing this project anytime soon. Okay? I removed the door today, and I thought that this was a paint blob. And I come to discover that it's actually a screw. So I'm going to see it's full of paint. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to take this out. I was organizing. I didn't want to do this today. Keep on saying that, huh? Looks like I'm not a woman of my word.
I am not planning to bore you with all the process of removing the paint, but can you see how thick the paint was in this drawer just by seeing me scrape?
I'm sorry for the wood lovers, but I'm not so sure I'll be able to save the wood of this. I mean, there's a lot of paint inside each crevice. I just did a pass with acetone and a wire brush, and I scrubbed this whole thing, each of them. There's still paint there, and I scrapped all over here as well. I don't know. I also sanded this, and there's still a lot of paint inside the grooves, like everywhere. So I sanded that. Doesn't look like, but I did.
Getting the paint out of the crevices was very tedious. I don't want to relieve it, but this next clip is pretty good synthesis. I did 3 passes of acetone with wire brush, and this is not coming off. This is not coming off. Nothing is coming off. Like barely in here, barely. Okay? And I leave the acetone sitting there for a little bit to see if that loosens up a little bit more. Now that most paint is gone, I had to flip it upside down to get all the paint from where the previous job had dripped. As it was solid wood, I went full on 60 grit. I wasn't messing anymore. I also sanded down all inside and the back too, but not before deep cleaning all that exposed wood. I am so grateful for my surf prep sander that has a low profile and it's narrow too. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get in there. I feel like everything is a repair with this piece. I wanted to take the tiny piece of wood hanging from the bottom so the sides could sit flush with the front. It might make more sense when you see the whole thing. But I got distracted and started to remove some paint that was stuck inside. So after measuring and all, it finally came off.
This is my first pass that I messed up. As you can see, that the saw kind of tilted and I had issues with that. And this is the second side that it's not perfect, but it's a little better. As you can see, I burn the wood in here mainly. But I mean, it happens. The blade is not new, so this new better blade will fix the issue.
I also sanded and fixed the door where the frame broke. Filled the hardware hole, that was huge. For that, I used the handle of a foam brush. And after that, I refilled with some putty, so I could re-drill a new one. And yes, we reuse everything in this shop. I also had to remove those weird drawer tracks. They were like wood rounds on a center screw. I never seen that before, so if you ever had, please let me know, I'm really curious. And of course, as everything in this project, it took me ages.
I found the spring in the back, so I don't know which. Oh, I found another screw. There's one screw right here. Okay, yeah, but there is a spring here. Look. Okay, that's enough.
I had to reveal the center drawer track from the top drawer on the dresser and on the drawer itself because they were broken. The bottom had a lot of dents, so I tried to raise the grain with the iron to be able to sand it smooth. The dresser is constructed in solid oak with dovetails in the front of the drawer and something similar to a nap joint in the back. There was a big separation on the front dovetails, so I tinted some good filler and filled them. And yes, of course, more sanding because I didn't do enough of that already. And that's the name of my channel, so I have to honor it. Yes, there was a lot of hand sanding too, like a lot. I want to take a minute to ask you, have you noticed the clothes from the beginning of the video and what I'm wearing right now? Because I started this project in the summer and I will let you know when I finished it by the end of the video.
What does this dresser need, you're wondering? Well, I did a lot, first of all. Second, I already caulked here, I caulked there. So now what's left is finishing sanding. Have to finish sanding, and I have to finish sanding and stain the top. I can't get through there. It's very hard, very hard. The sander doesn't fit. None of the sanders fit. So that is going to stay like that. I need to shellac all the interior because it doesn't smell bad. It just smells old. And then here we have the drawers. Even though they have been sanded a lot on the sides and all, there's still a lot of rough spots that I will leave like that. They're still engraved old paint. I need to shellac everything so I can paint, and I need to sand these grooves and those grooves that I haven't been able to, and I have to finish the door. So yeah, there is a lot happening. So while I sand, oh, and I need to put a truck there that's missing. Okay, I'm going to work on this table. Yeah, I'm gonna get it out of there. So it's gonna be another video.
If you made it this far, I am grateful for you. I hope you're enjoying the video, and if you are, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around for more fun projects and a lot of trial and error, and hopefully less paint removal, but who knows? One of the worst nightmares I had was removing the paint of these intestine handles. I still can't believe how much paint this thing had. So I boiled them in water with vinegar for some time. and it seems like it was coming off, but looks can be deceiving. After boiling, I grabbed a wire brush to attempt to remove more paint. If I would have done this while hot, maybe everything would have been easier. The boiling didn't remove it all, so I decided to try my luck with chemical stripper and let it sit there like a nasty soup.
I want to apologize for what I'm gonna say, but I hope that whoever painted this hardware had a terrible, 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 terrible birthday for at least 5 years in a row. Look at this. I already put it in paint stripper and like almost nothing came out. Nothing. I'm going with a pink now. A pink. Let's see if I can take some stuff out. See, some of it came out, but this is a lot. Like a lot. And that was a drip. I thought it was a hardware that had that shape. Well, here we are. We're gonna keep on doing this.
After 5,000 hours of scraping and reapplying chemical stripper and picking and all of that you saw me doing, I did end up removing all the paint, but the metal looked awful. So I had to spray paint, no other choice. I tried to buy this special size hinge and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I ended up fixing it because I bended it while I was trying to remove it and I put it back. For the paint, I am using this one-step recipe I made using equal parts of chalk paint, primer, and top coat. This is the same color I used in the back of my painted chair. I'll share the link in the description so you can go watch it later. The consistency of this paint is a little too thick, so I had to spray some water as I was brushing. Can we notice that I am wearing thermal pants? And I am painting inside. You know what that means? That it's very cold outside. For the top, I did 2 passes of Dixie Belle Voodoo Gel Stain in Au Naturel, and I top coated the whole piece just to even out the sheen. To finalize, I lined the top drawer with some faux leather and the rest and the cubby with some Dollar Tree wallpaper, and wax all the wood inside. I reattached the door, and as for the legs, I used some little ball casters I found at Harbor Freight that I also color matched with the rest of the hardware. To finish up, I attached this trim or edge that I built using scrap wood. Before I show you one of my most satisfying and yet annoying projects I have ever done, let's remember how it used to look like on August 18 when I picked it up. And this is now. I finished it right before Christmas, so you do the math. I worked on it at least 1 hour a day. Then I paused it for a little bit, tried to do something else, and it took me a while to go back to it. I mean, can you blame me? I would love to know your thoughts. What do you think? What you don't like? What you do like? And what would you have done differently if this was yours? If you learned something new or you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I would love to read you. Thankfully, I am the privileged one that gets to keep this. All the effort I put in had no monetary value. I love the color, the character of the piece, and this is an all solid oak Eastlake style wash stand. I will never get rid of this. I wouldn't change anything, not even all the perfect imperfections I left. This dresser proves one more time that everything can be transformed with some love, patience, paint, and a little bit of skills. And remember, skills can be learned. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!